Okay guys, today's video is a really fun one. If you've ever looked at our results and said, there's no way, and wondered whether we are making it up, you're not alone. And it makes sense. Increasing insulin sensitivity by over 120% is basically unheard of. But our clients get those numbers all the time. And it's even been documented in peer-reviewed research. When Dana first saw us talking about our coaching clients' results, she didn't believe us.
I work for a diabetes foundation, and I saw that they followed you guys, and you had posted a story about someone whose A1C was 5.4 as someone with type 1 diabetes. And I'm like, that's got to be not true. Like, there's no way.
But she was intrigued. She ended up buying the Mastering Diabetes book and reading it. Then she decided to give it a try for herself. She couldn't believe what happened and was totally blown away by the results. So today, I'll explain how she and so many of our clients achieve impossible numbers. Let's take a step back for a minute. Dana had been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at age 3, and for most of her life, she had the classic roller coaster blood sugar. Her diabetes made her anxious and overwhelmed on a daily basis. And she was beginning to lose hope that she would ever get her blood sugar stable enough to support a healthy pregnancy.
My blood sugar was stuck at a really high level, and I couldn't get it down. And I had just gotten married, and I was like, how am I going to take care of my kids? How am I going to be there for my kids when I'm older? Am I even going to be able to get pregnant with my diabetes like this?
So she was willing to give something new a try, even if she was super skeptical. That's how she wound up joining our 6-week blood sugar transformation challenge. So let's look at what happened after those 6 weeks.
So when I first started, my fasting blood glucose was about 170. That was the average. Of course, sometimes it was higher and sometimes it was a little lower. But now my average fasting blood glucose is about 130, which is phenomenal. My A1C when I first started was 7.6, and I'd always kind of been stuck around that 8 range. I've never been able to get really, like 7.6 was the lowest that it had ever been, and I worked super hard to get it there before I started. And my A1C, November 14th, was estimated at 6.8. So it's actually almost at the recommended spot to have a healthy pregnancy, or a pregnancy with fewer risks, which is huge. I never thought it would ever get that low. And you know what? I haven't been working that hard to get it there. I've just been following the Mastering Diabetes plan, and it's kind of just naturally come down. I've lost 12 pounds since September. I'm now sitting about 145. I was actually shocked. So my carbohydrates per day, before I was doing the Mastering Diabetes method, it really varied wildly. Some days I'd be eating like 115 to 130 carbs. And then like on the weekends, usually I'd be eating close to like, could be between like 200 and 300 carbs, depending on where we're going out to eat. And none of them are good. They're all like pizza, fast food, French fries, that kind of stuff. And then during the week, I was barely eating anything because I didn't get any food ready, or I was just grabbing something on my way out the door. But now my carbohydrates per day are about 250 to 275. And that is every day. So every day I'm eating the same amount, and my body has gotten used to it, and I have so much more energy. And it's crazy that I've eaten so many more carbs, but I'm taking so much less insulin. So my fat per day has been a huge difference. So before, I was eating anywhere between 20 and 55 grams of fat per day. I was using olive oil in my cooking. I was eating cheese. I was eating fried food. I was eating the heavy cream dressings and stuff. So really it depended on what I was having that day, but the fat really did add up. And now on average, I eat about 10 to 12 grams of fat per day. And that's made a huge difference on my insulin sensitivity. You guys are not kidding when they say it works. And my insulin per day, which is the fun one because my carbs are now at the high range of what I used to eat. And I have gone from using 45 to 55 units of insulin per day. And now I only use between 30 and 35 units per day. And it's going down. Like I just had to adjust my basal down, and I'm going to have to adjust my lunch bolus down already because I'm going low in the afternoon again. So it's going to be lower than that. Oh, the other big measurement is my time in range. So my time in range used to be about 51% when I started, and my time in range most recently was at 79%, which is a huge jump, and very happy with it. And I'm very excited to see how much closer to 100 I can get. And I've had days where my time in range is like at 95%, which is, I didn't actually think that was possible for people with type 1 diabetes to be like that. But here we are. I have more energy. I've lost weight. I feel better about myself, both my diabetes and the way I look. And I know what I'm doing for myself is the best thing I could possibly do.
Wow, all of that in just 6 weeks. This is what I love to see. Dana thought the results we shared from other people in our program were impossible. She thought she would be debunking us, and now she's here sharing her personal success story. So let's explore and explain why and how we can get these kinds of results. And just to be clear, if you happen to be living with pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes, keep watching because this applies to you as well. If you're living with any form of diabetes, the root issue is insulin resistance. Insulin resistance means your body's cells have stopped responding well to insulin. Insulin is like a key that helps sugar move from your bloodstream into your cells for energy. When the insulin key stops working properly, the sugar can't get into your cells, so it stays in your bloodstream, causing high blood sugar levels. When you are living with diabetes, whether it's type 1 or type 2, that's what is happening inside your body. The goal for all people living with any form of diabetes is to reverse insulin resistance. That's what Dana did, and here is how it happened. First of all, insulin resistance is caused by a buildup of fat inside your cells. The scientific term for this is intramyocellular lipid, which literally means fat inside of muscle cells. That's what blocks insulin from being able to open your cells. The cell's insulin receptors are clogged up with fat. When you cut out processed foods and high-fat foods, your body begins clearing out fat stores from your muscle and liver cells. Over time, this allows insulin signaling to be restored. When insulin can get glucose out of the bloodstream and into your cells more efficiently, this improves your insulin sensitivity. This means that you can eat more carbohydrates while using less insulin.
And it's crazy that I've eaten so many more carbs, but I'm taking so much less insulin.
This also means that your time in range will be much better.
My time in range is like at 95%, which is, I didn't actually think that was possible for people with type 1 diabetes to be like that. But here we are.
Because now your body isn't going through the swings of high and low blood sugar levels. Like Dana, many people mention that their energy levels go up after they start following the Mastering Diabetes method.
I have more energy. I've lost weight. I feel better about myself, both my diabetes and the way I look. And I know what I'm doing for myself is the best thing I could possibly do.
This is due to a number of various factors. Number one, your body is built to run on glucose. That's the preferred energy source for most of your cells and the body's functions. When you have a steady supply, your body will naturally have more energy. Number two, having more stable blood sugar levels also helps. It can be very draining on your body to experience the roller coaster of highs and lows, which was Dana's experience before starting our program. Number three, your mitochondria use glucose more efficiently when you eat a low-fat, plant-based whole food diet. If you remember from 6th grade science class, mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. When the powerhouse of each cell is working more efficiently, you get more energy. Number four, you are now eating food high in fiber and antioxidants, which reduces inflammation in your body. This frees up energy to be used for your daily activities, whereas animal foods and processed foods create a state of chronic inflammation in the body, resulting in you feeling sluggish. So that's what was happening behind the scenes to create Dana's amazing results. That's what was happening inside her body, and that's what gave her and thousands of our other clients the ability to dramatically improve their diabetes health in a very short period of time. If your curiosity is hooked right now, I recommend watching this video next, where I talk more about how and why this method works.